and then give it back to me. I'll give it to you.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect.
Okay. Yes, I'm nervous. I can do this. Don't be nervous. Because I don't like talking in front of people with everybody looking at me. Okay. I will look at your headband and you will feel like...
I was going to stare directly, guys.
Everyone deserves to feel loved and respected. Today I will be discussing with you the importance of gender-affirming care and how it is needed and impacts Americans' lives. Gender-affirming care is a basic human necessity, and I will first briefly explain how it is currently under attack and why, and how you can keep gender-affirming care safe. In America today, there are bills trying to be passed to ban gender-affirming care, especially that for minors. On Friday, April 14th, 2023, the House Public Health Committee advanced the Senate Bill 14 and the House Bill 1686. The versions of SB 14 and HB 1686 approved Friday would require trans youth who are already receiving puberty blockers or hormone therapy to be weaned of the prescription drug over a period of time, but in one that was safe and medically appropriate. The bills would also ban surgeries, even though these are very rarely performed on children. Says Alex Wynn and William Hotto in an article, the Texas House panel advances bill banning puberty blockers in trans youth. Published on April 14th, 2023 at texastribune.org. If these bills were passed, the consequences would be catastrophic. Puberty blockers, for example, are used not only on transgender youth, but to treat precocious puberty. Studies show that under correct medical supervision, these reversible drugs safely and effectively delay a child's development until they are ready being ready to go through puberty or ready to transition. By banning gender-affirming care, Texans are saying to those who identify as transgender or non-binary that they do not matter and that they do not have rights. According to HRC.org, Laurel Powell wrote an article titled Human Rights Campaign Committee Texas Senate for Passing Gender-Affirming Care Ban, which explains that gender-affirming care is age-appropriate care that is medically necessary for the well-being of many transgender and non-binary people who experience symptoms like gender dysphoria, distress, and that have results of having one's gender identity be different from what they are assigned at birth. Gender-affirming care is the integration of medical, mental health, and social services. For transgender children, what that includes is transition is entirely social process, which may include changing names, pronouns, wearing different clothes, or styling hair differently. Then once they are at puberty, that's when doctors, in consultation with their parents and informed consent of the transgender youth, they can start puberty blockers, which allow the young person to reach an age safely where they are truly able to consent to further treatment. The legislators who are trying to pass these bills are doing so because mainly of misinformation and religious bias. The church and state are supposed to be separate, and yet is increasingly merging together as far-right politicians push their religious beliefs into legislation. The American Civil Liberties Union released a statement on their website, aclu.texas, April 14th, 2023, quoting Adrienne Perez, whose pronouns are they, them. They are the organizing director at Texas Freedom Network. To deny transgender adolescents evidence-based medical care is cruel and indefensible. This is nothing more than politically motivated decision that carries grave consequences for the transgender community. Last year, 45% of LGBTQIA+ youth seriously considered suicide. But when young people are affirmed in their gender identity, the risk for suicidal ideation greatly decreases. Healthcare for transgender youth and adults is life-saving for their community, which is important, and why every major medical health organization in the United States supports best practice gender affirming care. We are people, not political weapons, and transgender Texans, including children, just want to live and thrive as their full selves. The bills are violations of Texas rights and an intrusion into the private decisions between loving families and doctors. You can help keep gender affirming care safe by speaking out. Write to your local representatives about how this topic should not be discussed based on religion and what's best for the mental health of the trans community and their families who support them. You can also do so by showing up. EqualityTexas.org has lots of information on rallies and protests that you can attend. Gender affirming care is a basic human right. Being transgender or non-binary is not a mental illness. So it is time to start validating those who identify as transgender or non-binary in our community. People should be able to make decisions and be in control of their own body because everyone deserves to be able to be their true, authentic self.